tripping.
Tripping?
EDC.
Let me see.
EDC.
EDC? Oh, are you headbanging? Stop headbanging.
This was me waking up from my second breast augmentation. I've had 3 plastic surgeries in my life. I've always been an open book about this. I did multiple videos, and I think it's very, very important to be able to have that open conversation about plastic surgeries. I think nowadays a lot of people want to change how they look and change a lot of things about their body, but I feel like there is not a lot of honest places where you can actually share your experiences and share the bad sides of plastic surgery. So I've had a rhinoplasty and 2 breast augmentations, and in this video I'm going to be talking only about the breast augmentation. The rhinoplasty, which is a nose job, is the best decision I've ever made. I've been always extremely self-conscious about my nose. It just didn't ever fit my face. It was a very strong Roman looking nose, and since early ages I've been always telling my parents that I am going to get a nose job and I'm going to change my nose to a cute little nose, and that was the best decision I've made. But when it comes to breast augmentations, there's just some realizations that I came to that it probably wasn't the best decision. So I got my first, so to speak, boob job in probably 2015 or 16. Randy was a Marine at the time and I was a nanny. We were absolutely broke, didn't have any money, and I just came up with this idea to get a breast augmentation. Obviously, it was the time where Instagram was thriving, so I found the perfect doctor in Beverly Hills to do the breast augmentation for me. As I said, we didn't have any money, so we had to get a loan in order for me to get that surgery, and it was an extremely pricey place. So going into the surgery, I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I just knew that I feel extremely self-conscious because I was very flat-chested, and I think at the time I just wanted to have big boobs. So I'm not going to say the name of the doctors that I went to get my surgeries. I'm just going to share my experiences with them. But the doctor I went to suggested for me to do 450 cc's implants. Keep in mind that my starting cup was an A, maybe like a tiny B cup, and the 450 cc's would put me to a triple D cup. Originally, I think we're also talking about doing something bigger, and I'm so glad that we didn't proceed with that. But we did the 450 cc's, and for a while I was very, very happy. My recovery from the surgery was an absolute nightmare. Imagine a skin that is being stretched to an enormous, huge size that is just not used to. So for weeks after the surgery, I was in extreme pain. I couldn't move. I remember specifically driving over the speed bumps was causing an excruciating pain, and I just basically didn't know how to do anything. Randy would have to wipe my butt and help me shower and feed me, because after the surgery you're not allowed to lift your hands as well. So all of that put together was just an absolute nightmare. As I mentioned, for a while I was very happy. I think at the time I thought that that's what I need to be feminine, to be sexy, to feel confident. But in all reality, obviously that's not the case at all. So fast forward 4 or 5 years after, I think 2020 is when things started to go a little wrong with my implants. And I know that's the case with a lot of people, that there's a lot of side effects you have to deal with, like the capsule contraction or something like that, the tissue around the implants is going hard and the implants are getting misplaced. or it causes some autoimmune diseases. I know there's a lot of people dealing with a lot of different side effects. When it comes to basically what happened, my implant dropped from the breast pocket, causing what it's called a double bubble. So I would have a breast tissue here that would literally like cut the implant, and then the implant would be below, causing this like 1 to a double bubble. So my implant was completely hanging underneath the breast tissue. Not only that, but also I lost a little bit of weight, and the implants just looked absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, it looked like it was the boobs and then me somewhere behind, and it was just not matching my frame. I wasn't feeling it at all, and I just became extremely unhappy with my decision to get the implants in the first place. Also, the implants were very separated. They were basically on my sides, and the double bubble, it just all looked really messy and not cute at all. So that's when I started considering a reduction of the implants. Unfortunately, when you go that big, from not having breasts to going that extremely big, the doctors don't recommend taking the implants completely out, because your skin around the breast tissue is so stretched that you basically need to put in something for the skin to shrink, and then you can take the implants completely out. So I decided that I would like to get a reduction. Again, I had to find a doctor that specializes in the revisions, because the second surgery is not as easy as the first one. After going for consultation, he did say that those implants that were put in me during the first surgery were just too big for my body. That's why the breast tissue and the skin wasn't sewn in properly, so the implants dropped, just ripping the tissue apart basically. So he did recommend getting smaller implants, and we decided on 250 cc's, which is much smaller. It's basically half of the size of what I had previously. He also promised he's going to fix the shape and put them more together and just basically give me a nice look again. Obviously, another surgery and a revision is also very pricey. So altogether, I think for the both surgery, the first surgery was $13,000 as far as I remember, and the second surgery was $10,000, which both of the times we did not have. Both of the times we had to take a loan, make payments on something that now looking back, I think was completely unnecessary. My second surgery went really well. Actually, the recovery from the second surgery was very easy. Obviously, my skin was already stretched, so going back was way easier than the first time. Obviously, it was extremely difficult. You can't really move a lot, you can't move your hands, and I had a lot of bandages and a lot of tapes keeping the implants together, just because before my breast augmentation was so messed up that the implants were just out of the place, that the second time he had to put a lot of work into stitching everything together and putting my implants back in place. All in all, now I am very happy with how everything is looking, and I'm very happy with the size. Although I think they still could be smaller, I'm definitely not going for that big look anymore. I think eventually I would like to take the implants completely out and just go back to my natural self. But that's something that I'm still going back and forth on and trying to decide if that's what I would like to do. I know that a lot of girls want to have bigger breasts and get the breast augmentation, and obviously everybody should be allowed to do whatever they want with their body. There is no judgment here. I just think that a lot of people don't think about the bad sides of all of it. Not only is it expensive, also I think realizing who you are doing this for, if it's actually for yourself or for society. I know for a fact that my first breast augmentation was not for me. It was just something I wanted because I didn't feel feminine and I didn't feel sexy with being flat-chested. Which, looking back, obviously I was 20 at the time, I was just much younger, and my perspective on the world was completely different. I think if I could go back in time, I would not get the breast augmentation at all, and I would just try to stay natural. But I also think that if you are deciding you wanted to do any kind of plastic surgery, it is very important to talk about it openly and find people that did go through it, that are willing to talk about any difficulties that they might have had. Obviously, a surgery is still a surgery. It's expensive, it's painful, it's life-changing, so to speak. You're changing your body, so there's just a lot of factors that I think are important to talk about openly without any shame or any taboo. I just really want for all my platforms, and that's how it's always been. I've always been an open book. I've always been honest, and I'm always here for you guys to answer any questions that you have. I think there's not enough of safe spaces to talk about issues like that. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, I am more than happy to answer, and just comment down below so I can answer to your comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and like this video, and I'm going to see you guys in my next one.